Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language, adult themes, and lots of unhealthy food.
Yay! Yeah.
I don't eat unhealthy food. This cup of noodles I have is very nutritious.
Well, I was gonna save it for tomorrow, but seeing as it's World Pasta Day, maybe I'll make my mac and cheese for dinner tonight. That's both greasy and pasta.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we've got a significant lag to the YouTube today.
Uh-oh.
Why should today be any different?
Well, it seems longer than usual today. Like a good 3 to 5 seconds.
No, that's not that long for YouTube.
And we only have captive desk here?
Hey, captive desk. Yeah, no one else has said anything yet. Well, it claims 3 people watching, and I'm one of those, so if
Yep,
either of you are logged into YouTube, that's all we have.
Yep, I'm in there.
Yep.
So.
Oh, well, there's the 3.
Oh, look, I've been.
Okay.
Oh, there's no.
Hey,
Nerdy.
nerdy! Hooray, nerdy! Oh, Jesus Christ! Now we're not going to do pasta puns?
Hey, Stephanie.
Oh no!
Well, of course we are. So yeah, it's World Pasta Day and National Greasy Food Day, so just figured we'd roll them all together.
I ran out of spag last night. I had to go get you some. I'm
That's
sorry.
good. Yeah.
That one took me a minute to put it back together, but yeah. Oh. Yeah, well, Sloth Girl is half Italian, so she did quite a lot of pasta. It took me a while to get used to actually liking it again. Well, you know those places that advertise, home cooking just like Mom used to make? Well, I avoid those places. As my mother tended to cook everything to mush. So yeah, for many, many years, I just couldn't get over the idea that pasta just didn't have any texture to it. So
Don't cook it as long.
yeah.
Couldn't be as bad as my grandmother trying to boil little hamburger patties.
Well, the thing was, with so many people in our house, we wound up eating in 3 shifts. So, I guess the stuff tended to stay on for too long. Sorry, I'll try to mute more. My cough is being especially bad the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Some kind of allergy reaction. I haven't figured out what it is I'm reacting to, though.
Yeah, I get allergies around this time as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course, I should expect it when leaves are falling. The leaf mold is definitely one of my big triggers. So as soon as the leaves start accumulating in damp areas, and we've had a lot of rain here the last couple of days.
I'm surprised I'm not worse than I usually am.
Unfortunately, the man who invented spaghetti passed away. But he's now a piece of history.
Have you ever had a mac and cheese pizza?
No.
Yeah, I've tried it.
How was it?
Well, I'm not a huge mac and cheese fan to start with, so wasn't for me. But there's a chain called Pizza Ranch. Yeah, it's basically a buffet that does all kinds of pizza and fried chicken.
My mac and cheese, I use basically an entire block of extra sharp cheddar to make it.
Sounds more like my kind.
Except you wouldn't like the topping.
Oh.
Pineapple? Oh, God.
No, not pineapple.
Oh, okay.
Parmesan.
But who? I'm sorry.
Parmesan.
Okay, I've got no problem with
Yeah,
Parmesan.
that'd be fine.
Yeah. So you didn't like? I thought you were one of those who thought it tasted like vomit.
No,
Not me.
nope, I use the Parmesan a lot. In fact, I often use cheddar and Parmesan on my salads.
Yeah. Okay. I guess you would like it. This is my grandmother's recipe, though I've made some alterations over the years.
No, the food I can't take is mock chicken legs. They taste like vomit to me.
Mock chicken legs? I don't even know what that is.
It's just a fake chicken that's shaped like a chicken leg,
Oh,
and it. I don't know what the hell it's made out of, but it's kind of breaded, and it's just awful. And I know people who really like them. Ugh, God, I had to kick this one woman out of my house because she liked them.
now, Jenny, I'm sure you didn't kick any woman out of your house for what you like to eat.
No, that's true. Especially when it was me.
Ah. Oh,
Oh,
I
not
used
just
to make a real good lasagna, but it's been a long time since I've done it.
not just sharp cheddar, extra sharp cheddar.
Yep. Well, and sometimes I can find the ultra sharp cheddar. It doesn't show up too often.
Yeah, the sharper the better.
Yep.
Hey, Nerdy, I'm taking by your comments that maybe you've had mac and cheese pizza. My big question is, does the pasta in mac and cheese pizza get like crispy or hard around the edges, or crusty crunchy cheese, or how does it deal with it?
Yeah, well, Juju, like I was saying, I think the big problem I had with mac and cheese was that growing up, the pasta was all grossly overcooked. Hey, Orb.
From time to time, I buy pre-made mac and cheese packages, like $4, $4.50, something like that, and it'll last 2 days. And when I get it, I just dump in all sorts of extra sharp cheddar cheese because
Yeah.
store-bought mac is just boring as hell. It's just ugh. It's just yellow paste.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually make my pasta in the microwave. I have this pasta boat thing designed for microwaving and stuff, and you just put the pasta in, put the water to the level, and then just run the microwave for whatever the time sets. That's for
Does it
pounds.
does it work?
Yeah, comes out perfect every time.
No shit. I've wanted to find something like that. I didn't know there really was something.
It's like a little made-for-TV kind of thing. Let me see if I can find one on Amazon here.
I've seen those things advertised. Yeah, I had wondered how well they work.
Yeah, they work really well. The one thing I noticed is it's not so much the time, but rather the water level you put it in. And you have to really be sure of. So
Make sure you've got just the right amount of water for the pasta.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Because the actual time of cooking, I usually set it to about. I do about. Think about 8.5 minutes. Stir it 8.5 minutes.
Oh, really? It takes that long?
Yeah. And also, the other thing is, you need to clean up the microwave afterwards because water gets everywhere. But it's good if you need to clean it anyway. I mean, that's usually what I do when my microwave needs to be cleaned and wipes down. I just make up some pasta and it's already all wet and everything. I need to wipe it down anyway.
Juju, I have to side with your wife. Overcooked pasta is pretty much a criminal activity. I believe people should pretty much go to jail for a minimum of 10 years if they overcook pasta. So I'm sorry. You seem like a nice guy and all, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, Juju, the problem with boiling water in the microwave is I'm missing the term now, but it
Superheated.
it can actually get superheated that the water can actually be above the boiling point without you seeing any bubbles. So potentially you could scald yourself with it a lot worse than just water boiling on the stove.
I boil water in the microwave to the point of it's bubbling, so it's superheated. But I use a styrofoam, that thin styrofoam coffee cup type thing you get in a like gas station coffee or something like that. And I use that to boil the water in, as long as I only need something like that much. Um, and it gets superheated, but the moment it goes off, all the boiling stops, and it doesn't, scare the fuck out of you like superheated microwave water. I would never put anything in it because that's when the trouble happens, where everything explodes.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to stuff, have stuff in your water that you're boiling.
Yeah,
You don't want,
yeah.
don't boil distilled water.
Yeah, if the water has even a bit of impurity, even like a bit of salt in it, then it's not going to get superheated like that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the private chat there, you have the link to the possible thing I have, and I also put that in the DM group, so you have it for later.
Yeah.
Anybody in the chat want the link?
Yeah, you might as well post it out there. So it seems that some people here have had that experience with the superheated water. Adrian.
For some reason, that did not create a link. Oh well.
Jenny, you were saying about using a styrofoam cup in the microwave, though?
Or one of the thin coffee um, coffee cups like you'd get in the convenience store or gas station
Yeah.
coffee.
I was afraid the
Regular,
styrofoam would start to melt.
well, the regular styrofoam will, and the cup. If you get the water to superheat boil, the bottom of the cup will start to bulge. So you can only use one for a couple of times, but it's easier to toss that out than have to go clean a pan or something.
Yeah. Although I would still worry that even if the cup didn't start to melt, could it be when you heat it up? Is it gassing stuff into the water?
Probably not, and if it is, who cares? We're going to all die anyways. Look how old we are, perp.
There you go.
Doesn't matter anymore.
Maybe
I'm not old.
maybe pin
Yes,
that
you are.
maybe pin that comment I put in there with your GoFundMe.
Yeah. I hate to be begging for money again, people, but yeah, I need to start a GoFundMe to pay for our van repairs. So, if things are going according to schedule, I should be able to pick it up the second week in November, or the second weekend in November. So it's been out of service pretty much all summer from when I hit a deer, and my brother's been doing it, so we're only paying for parts and not labor, but that meant he had to do it when he could find time apart from the other projects he already had going, so it's taken several months. But he is doing it for half the cost of what the shop here had estimated.
You know how to do you know how to pin comments?
Not me.
Hold on. Theoretically, I do.
3 dots. It should
Yep,
say pin.
I actually have not tried it before, but let me. Yep, there we go. There we go.
There, you got it.
Oh, you mean on YouTube chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one will stay at the top of the chat there.
Yeah, we'll keep doing that until you get the money you need.
Yeah, Mark, I saw you had made a donation. I'm sorry I haven't gotten gotten to sending out the thank yous for the people who've donated the last couple of days.
I haven't given you a donation, and I apologize, but I'm still busy saving up for getting my car fixed.
Yeah, no.
That's been down since June 1.
And I realize a lot of people don't have the money. If you can help boost the signal so more people see it, that helps an awful lot too. So
Yeah, this is gonna be really rough for me. I'm already looking at maybe being $200 in the hole for my property taxes thanks to new FPL.
yeah,
What's
but I have already received donations from Greg Hartwick and Godless Granny and Mark Caesar and 2 other people that I don't recognize the names, so I'm not sure who they are as far as on YouTube or Twitter. So we're off to a good start. I only created it Sunday or Monday night, and I really haven't had advertised it yet, but it's already up to almost 500.
I thought you already had one before
Hey,
last
Randall.
Sunday.
Huh?
Nope.
I thought you had one before Sunday.
No, I should have started it last month, but I didn't want to do it, and I kept hoping I could come up with the money some other way, but nothing else has worked out.
Have you tried sex work? Don't answer that.
Hey, I would gladly do it if I thought anybody would pay me for it.
Well, people pay. Everybody keeps telling me, "Oh, everybody's hot on the internet. Somebody's out there whacking over your picture." So go to get on OnlyFans and or Patreon and get yourself a layout of selfies. Various states of naked or just revealing on the edge kind of things, or
Yeah.
maybe your feet because people love feet, and see what you can do. If you make a bunch of money, great.
Well, that's part of it is, I don't know how to do that stuff, and I'm so just generally lousy at communicating with people, so.
It's all pictures. It's communicate it all.
Yeah, well, I should get you up here to do me a good photo shoot, because I can't take decent pictures of myself.
No, I don't do people anymore.
Well, now let's see here. The AI generator I play around with just added a furry option for a model.
Yeah, well, Jenny was saying about, if you're on YouTube, somebody's jacked off to your pictures. And I was thinking that wasn't an issue since I just use an avatar, but yeah, now that I've got enough overlap with the furry community, somebody's probably jacked off to my avatar by now.
Well, I figured out where the people who have absolutely zero taste go on the internet. They go to TikTok. And I know that because I've had, since I got involved with it, that all these people say, "Oh, you're really good looking," and it's like, come on. I've been turned down for dates for 44 years and laughed at, with my looks. Don't tell me that crap. But so that's where all the people with bad taste go.
Well, everybody's taste is different. Although I was at the clinic Monday, so I got my flu and COVID shots.
Yeah, that's good.
And yeah, the nurse that was there just looked so cuddly. I just wanted to take her home.
Well, that'd be hard to do. You don't have your van.
Well, my brother did give me his old winter beater to drive around in the meantime. So.
Oh, well, that was very nice.
Yeah, it's a 99 Mercury, so this thing actually has a bigger footprint than the van with less than half the interior space.
Well, that means you can get 4 bodies in the trunk.
Yes, you could.
So advertise yourself as a body transport. The mafia will get a hold of you and pay you big money and just You know,
Well,
you have to do it for the rest of your life and not say anything.
I've been having trouble parking this thing because the car is actually longer than the parking spaces at the grocery store.
Jeez.
Look at that trunk space. You can get 4 or 5 bodies in there.
See, Jujubee agrees with me. Self feet pics.
Yeah, I know there's a market for those, but um, I'm I'm lousy at promoting myself. I don't know, how you would get the people who would pay for it to see it.
Let's see. I don't know how OnlyFans or Patreon actually look when you go in on them because I've never gone into them. But there's got to be a title page of some sort somewhere, and just put hot feet pictures. Come and lick my toes. That's pretty much it.
I'm saving this as a fail.
Yeah, I suppose you could probably do one like that of applying various food stuff to your toes then and just advertising for people to suck it off.
Oh yeah,
Peanut butter and jelly or
I was just thinking of that.
cheese.
Yep. Brie, any other soft cheeses. You could cut little, or you could get deep fried cheese from some restaurant or other, and put that between your toes. And you could get a zucchini and carve it into a shoe, and wear that.
Yeah, and since only my feet need to be in the pictures, then they wouldn't have to see me retching at the thought of somebody actually taking me up on the offer.
Well, looks like the AI does not know what a Triceratops looks like.
Oh, that did not turn out well.
It's not turning out well at all.
Pardon me.
That's what it keeps giving me. Stuff like this. Cute, but not a Triceratops.
No, it looks more like a Pokemon thing.
Eh.
Oh, she's pretty.
That's probably the problem it's having. It probably has too much Pokemon stuff in its data.
Would you DM that to me on Twitter, please?
Okay.
I think she's cute.
Yeah, Juju, I did mention that the car I'm driving is so old it has a cassette deck in it. So actually, before I drive it back down there, I need to find one of those adapters that goes into the cassette deck that gives me a lead to plug something else into it, so that I can have my music on the way down.
Oh, you should be able to get that at Best Buy or something like that. People still use them.
I haven't been able to find it locally, but I'm sure I can find one on Amazon.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh yes, yeah. Randall was in a movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's now on Amazon. So yeah, should check that out.
Pirates of the North Coast. This isn't a Disney movie, is it?
No. But it's also not porn, as far as I know.
What's the basic plot? Is King Kong come in anywhere, or Godzilla?
There.
Or since it's from the north, are the pirates all dressed in like parkas?
There was actually a group, I think was called Pirates of Alberta or something like that, that basically the whole gag was just the idea of pirates in a territory that doesn't have any access to the ocean.
Land pirates. Oh, and just because the thing isn't porn doesn't mean it will stop people.
I heard a person yesterday. This is really weird. Who was absolutely convinced that Bigfoot is alive, and it's on every continent, and that we can't deny any longer that it exists. He didn't explain why, but the guy was absolutely convinced that Bigfoot is real. I asked him things like, okay, the scientists are really good at finding stuff, zoologists and that sort of thing. Where's the scat? Where's the tufts of hair that are pulled off in a bush? There's just zero evidence except maybe
It's
a plaster cast of a fake footprint. Hey, Skitty.
Hello.
Juju's brought up a movie synopsis. Trevor and his buddies rally to save the town's iconic lighthouse. Sparks fly between Trevor's girlfriend and his returning Anna. Trev struggles with adulting, saving the lighthouse. Saving the lighthouse, his love, and his family. Will Anna accept Trev's proposal?
Trevor, you write the script. I'll edit it for you.
Well, no, that's for the movie that Randall was in. So.
Oh, that's a real plot.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Oops.
Well, since it's on Amazon now, I'll be able to check it out.
Is it streaming?
I think that's what he meant. Yeah, but Sloth Girl has Amazon Prime now, so if it's streaming on Amazon, I should be able to watch it. Oh. Yeah, Randall actually Randall met me in New York, or not New York, in Michigan. The last time I went back there to get the last of our stuff from storage. So he showed up and helped me load the truck. And we got a private harmonica concert in my mom's kitchen. I ran across a... Go ahead, Jenny.
No.
Oh, just on the Bigfoot thing. And I ran across a weird cartoon once. I don't even know what it was called. But basically the premise was that Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster are in the witness protection program and living in an apartment in New York.
Yeah. I don't know about Bigfoot, but Molly seems to like to sleep on my foot.
That would be awful expensive. Who's footing the bill?
Yeah. Yeah, Sammy's son seems to like my ankle for a pillow, which I can't get because it's like the boniest part of my body. You'd think he'd like one of the softer areas.
So your cat wants something hard from you. Get it
No, not going there.
A cat dildo. I wonder if there is such a thing. No.
I am sure that there is, because some people prescribe that for when you have a cat in heat. I have actually heard people saying that if you have a cat in heat that keeps howling, you can stimulate them with a Q-tip to bring them off and relieve the issue.
Yeah, okay, you go do that. That sounds like a great idea.
I didn't say I was ever interested in trying it. It's just that it's advice that I have heard.
Juju, I can't imagine how the Loch Ness Monster would do in a forest with a Bigfoot. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, there are a lot of forested lakes that have claimed to have lake monsters.
I can just see him now, Bigfoot and Loch Ness, huddled around a campfire, just telling stories and drinking hot chocolate together.
Oh, I was going a lot further than that. I was wondering what the hybrid would look like.
So the Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster tell stories about humans, seeing as we sit around on the campfire and tell stories about them.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there actually was a sighting. Well, there's been like at least 3 reported sightings of the Loch Ness monster on land.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I know one of them was some guy that claimed that in the middle of the night it climbed up out of the loch and ate one of his sheep.
Okay. Did he save any of the genetic material? It was sure to leave somewhere.
No, no, all we have is his report to the local newspaper about it. I say that was sometime in the 1970s. That's all I remember of it.
See, Captain, that's what I'm thinking. If Loch Ness and Bigfoot made it, you'd end up with a Bigfoot with flippers, you know? And wouldn't we
Well,
just call that a dolphin then?
well, we all know that Bigfoot is just is living in Texas. This is an atheist advocate.
Yep. I know where you're going with that, but I don't think everybody else is following.
Arnra.
Yeah. Oh, I should probably. I think I have. Give me a minute. You keep talking. Give me a minute to find the link here.
Where you get the link for the Bigfoot thing with Arn.
Okay, Mark,
I think I should.
you have to log out now. I'm sorry. That was enough.
Oh, what happens as soon as I'm clicking out of the window? Uh, okay.
Mark, the joke would be better if you took out the first use of myths and you put fantasies instead, because then the myth informed is more of a standalone punchline, and it would carry more energy to the viewer. Trust me.
Okay. Yep.
You found it?
Yeah, I found it. The problem. Not on our channel. It was another
No.
channel that was on.
Yeah, it's on a different channel.
But yep, I got it now.
Oh, I thought you had a picture of Loch Ness eating a sheep.
Oh, YouTube's being a bitch to me and not coming up with anything for the search like it's supposed to.
Yeah, well, that's it. I know that this one had been hard for me to find in the search, but there it is. There's the Bigfoot link in the YouTube chat. Jenny, I'll send it to you on Twitter, so
Okay,
you can
okay.
look at it later.
Somebody knows I'm a Taylor Swiftie fan, and they sent me, and I didn't even know this happened. New York University gave her an honorary doctorate degree in music last year, 2022 graduating year, and she did the commencement. She was. I didn't think that she would be very good at it, but she actually was fairly decent.
She seems a pretty smart woman.
We could probably play this one if you wanted to.
Play what?
Yeah, let's give it a try.
It's a 2-minute video. I happen to know the uploader here doesn't upload anymore, so it's not like they're
Yeah,
gonna ding
it's
us.
an old enough thing, and it probably won't get a copyright strike. Go ahead, Mage. You want to play it?
Let me get it going here.
Oh,
Nice background purple in Mage. I like this one.
well, it's Mage is doing all of those.
Yeah,
That's
I found that
why
one.
it said purple in Mage.
Yeah, I was just saying that I don't really deserve credit for it.
I was trying to come up
all
with
the artwork on the bottom is Junie's.
I was trying to come up with a skeleton one for today, but I couldn't get the AI to generate something. This isn't yet any generated, this one, but I was trying to create another one. Let's see here. Video file. No,
So I've been wondering for Halloween, should I take a black Sharpie and fill in all of Sammy's white patches?
Add the stream.
Yeah, I love my tuxedo kitty. My Canadian penguin kitty.
And
I used to believe in Bigfoot.
Tim Peeler thought he was calling coyotes.
I come out here and rough talked him and run him off.
Got him to leave, called 911, then the creature came back.
And I said, get away from here. Get.
Deputies filed a suspicious person report, and Tim is still
this is
Fingers on each hand. This thing was 10 foot tall. Hey, beautiful.
a drawing
hair.
of a
Hitchhiking
drawing.
through the
The
mountains
drawing
of
looks like
Mexico, I
Aaron
brought a
Ra.
sweater. And as
Yeah,
I'm walking
Aaron
through
Ra,
the woods,
yeah.
I notice it's also extremely quiet. You pick up the slightest sound. I was being followed by a pack of coyotes, and I was getting a little iffy about this. I decided I needed to scare these things off, so I raised my arms up like this. Roared as loud as I could to scare the little buggers away. Really broke the still of the night, by the way. I realized I had to get a ride immediately. I have to get this car's attention now. So when the headlights finally got out where they could see me, I raised my arms again and yelled again, trying to get their attention. And they almost hit me, swerved, skidded around me. The next car that came by, just shortly thereafter that, I did the same thing, and with much the same result. And on the most interesting thing in Luna, New Mexico at that time was the many sightings of Sasquatch 2 days earlier. Ranchers, cattle hands, various passerby on the road had reported seeing and hearing the roars of the legendary monster.
And I said, get away from here. Get.
Deputies filed a suspicious person report, and Tim is still recalling the details.
This thing
Don't
was
find that
10
funny.
foot tall.
These are unrelated, by the
He
way.
had beautiful hair.
And that was when I finally really didn't believe in Bigfoot anymore, because it's kind of hard to maintain that belief when you realize you're him.
Yeah. Well, and my sister had given me a bumper sticker that said Bigfoot saw me, but no one believed him. When I met Aaron Ra, I got him to sign that, and I'm framing it with the picture I took with him.
Nice. Well, I know how that is. I've been mistaken for a ghost before, so. Yeah, I told that story on Beck's channel. So basically, what happened was I found some old fake blood in my drawer from last Halloween one time. I had me and my friend, we just covered ourselves with this stuff. And then we went on and started riding around on our bikes. And while I was riding around, and I ran into this big swarm of gnats. So all the gnats got stuck onto the blood, and it looked really gory afterwards. Yeah, it looked disgusting. But it was starting to get dark, and I noticed there was a football game, a little league football game going on, and along the back of the stadium, little field, there was a chain link fence where you could see everything. And I thought, oh, I'll just ride through that little space between the chain link fence and the field, and maybe scare some people. Well, so I went down through there, and it just happens, and just as I was going through there, the game was ending. So everybody was filing out, and there was these about 4 or 5 kids getting on their bikes, and they saw me ride by. I was covered in blood. Like, are you okay? Are you okay? They got on their bikes, started following after me, trying to make sure I was okay. And by that time, it was actually really, really dark, and the street lanes only went to a certain point on the street, and then went off, and there was a dead end at the end. So I rode past where the streetlights were. It was like basically pitch black past the streetlights if you were in the streetlights, so they couldn't see me. And at the time, once I got past that point, I swerved off the road into these bushes, which I noticed earlier had a really nice hiding spot. And they stopped like about right in front of me. So they were maybe like 2 feet in front of me. I'm just listening to them, wondering where the hell I went, and thinking they just saw a ghost.
All right. So, Juju, are you not familiar with Aaron Ra? I think the whole I think the whole growl thing was he was just trying to, make a loud noise to get the car's attention.
And scare off coyotes. But yeah, Arnrod, if you haven't heard of him, he does videos on evolution, biology, and skeptic readings on the Bible and Quran, stuff like that.
Yep.
Skeptic. That's pretty mild. He detests the concept of religion.
Well, he gets together with people who do readings on the Quran. He actually goes through the Bible or the Quran or whatever or holy text it's supposed to be, and they just break it down, and just how ridiculous it is. It's basically his way of trying to understand the text. So I don't usually watch those videos myself, but I usually watch his evolution videos, or he's debunking creationists and stuff.
Yeah, same. I don't usually watch the Bible reading ones much.
The Bible is spelled wrong. It's not Bible. It's Buybull.
Yep, that tracks.
I keep a Bible at my house. I keep it on the toilet tank in case I run out of toilet paper.
No.
Those pages are so lightweight, you just crumble them up a little bit and they get nice and soft.
No, my books, rather than arranged like alphabetically or that, are just arranged by subject.
No, what you want to do is you want to use the paper to roll your joints.
Yeah. Yep.
That was
I
actually
don't know.
My books are arranged by subject, so my Bible is shelved between Aesop's Fables and King Arthur and Robin Hood.
I have a bunch of Bibles on my shelf here.
Hey, Scummer.
Most of them are different, too.
Hey, Jeff. Why don't you jump in for a bit? Tell us how things are going on your side of the pond. I'm sure your side of the pond has plenty of greasy food, too.
Well, mostly in UK, it's mostly gray paste.
Yeah, but fish and chips.
Well, yeah, that is pretty greasy.
If you get the authentic stuff, it has to be.
Mahi makes good for that.
I'll bet you they don't actually, you call it fish and chips. I bet you they just call it something like chips. People always shorten words and stuff.
Yeah, fish and chips was actually the world's first fast food. It was the first food that was intentionally made to be, takeout, that there was no place to sit in the restaurant and you just took it home with you.
Nerdy, try a Snickers bar sometime. I'd be interested to see what you think.
I don't know. I would think Mars bars would be incredibly expensive considering the cost of getting anything back from there.
See, everybody ignored that one.
Okay, Demon. If your pasta's green, you really shouldn't eat it anymore. If it's been in the fridge that long, just throw it out.
You've never had vegetable pasta?
I have. I was trying to make a joke. My jokes just aren't working today.
Boy, did we get fucking rained on last night. Holy cow. We only got a little bit down this far south, but about 10 miles north, there's this band about 30, 40 miles wide that extends from Minnesota into Minnesota, maybe 10 or 20 miles, all the way across half of Wisconsin in this narrow band. And they got 5-6 inches of rain in a couple of hours. And it just fucking wiped out a bunch of places.
I would like to try Tim Tam, but I can't seem to find any around here.
Yeah, I can't remember now what Tim Tams are offhand. I know people have talked about them before.
Is that like Tim Hortons?
Nerdy, does picking up a penguin kitty count?
Only if they can go quack, quack, quack and waddle.
Yeah, actually, we had it. It was kind of raining all day yesterday here, so I don't know if that was the beginning of the storm that hit you.
Yeah, now you wouldn't want to break out the arc. That thing is so poorly built.
Oh, chocolate biscuits. That could be tasty.
Okay. I did manage to find Jaffa cakes at the Aldi's here.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to find some.
Yeah, well, I had never tried them before, so I was able to get a box of Jaffa cakes.
I would like to get a box and send them to this woman on Twitter, who is Welsh, and she swears that she's still alive today because she eats or drinks, I forget which alcohol, and eats Jaffa cakes.
Probably wine.
Okay. I would just like to be able to mail something like that to her as a surprise. She'd probably get a good kick out of it, considering she can go down to her local store and get them.
Well, if there's an Aldi's near you, try it.
No, there are no Aldi's anywhere near here.
Yeah.
I think there might be one in Winona.
There's one near me. There's an Aldi's that opened around the pandemic. You know, if you go stop in there, see if they got.
Yeah, I find some good deals in there. Sometimes they have some good deals on meat.
Nerdy, the Jaffa cakes are pretty moist. Is
No, I think he was saying because of the rain.
Oh well, don't leave them out in the rain. They'll stay drier.
Yeah, actually, the Aldi's is good. The prices on their produce are good, but it's really erratic what you'll have. You know, what'll show up there. You just can't depend on it. You know, if you see something this week, you can't depend on them still having it next week.
Twinkies.
Although one of the other things I've gotten to like about Aldi's is that they've got a rather good cheese selection. And among the other interesting things I found there is an Irish whiskey cheddar. So yeah, that's become one of my favorite snacking cheeses now. It's a good sharp cheddar that's just got a little bit of the undertone from the whiskey.
I might have to go check out that place sometime. I only went in there once to just kind of look around.
Yeah. The one that was in New York, I didn't like. It was kind of dirty and kind of put me off of them for a long time. But the one here is pretty good.
Yeah, when I went in there, it looked like it was set up more like a warehouse than.
Yeah. Although it's a smaller store.
Perp, I'm going to be taking part in my Minnesota right to consume certain vegetables in a pipe. So if I fall asleep, you know why.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I finally got some gummies for Sloth Girl and I. I tried them the other night. It didn't have much effect on me, so I'll have to try a higher dose and see what happens.
No, try the same dose a couple of times in a row.
Well, I got Sloth Girl some that were supposed to help with the pain, and the other night she took them, and apparently it helped, and it lasted all night for her. That basically she woke up with a severe case of the munchies.
Oh, good.
What's that other grocery store? A fancy, high-end Trader Joe's? Is that it?
Trader Joe's, yeah.
Trader Joe's and Aldi's are owned by the same family. They're two brothers who had a dispute over how the store should be run, whether it should be premium or basic, and they couldn't resolve it, so they split.
Interesting.
Uh, okay, Nerdy, is that your recommendation for falling asleep? Because I've heard all of those things associated with helping you sleep.
I sometimes take melatonin in a 300 microgram tablet.
I always thought Valerian was a Marvel Universe character.
No, valerian root is an herb that is supposed to have sedating effects.
Well, Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman, or Reed Richards and Sue Storr, their daughter is named Valeria.
Oh, you know what? I never knew the kid's name all these years.
Oh, I fell in love last night. I should pass this on. I tend to be behind popular music, whatever's happening. So I just learned of this person named Olivia Rodrigo. Does anybody else know her out there? She's just a kid.
Who that is?
Well, she's just this kid. She's like 20 years old, and she was on Jimmy Kimmel last night. And one of the things that he did with her is apparently Kimmel's two kids who are just youngins, fifth grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, something like that, are big fans of hers. Because she's just doing this kiddie pop and things. She's a really very attractive young woman. She's, but anyways, Jimmy Kimmel was filming taking his kids to school in their little minivan or whatever, and they pick up this hitchhiker, which of course turns out to be Olivia Rodrigo, and the kids just go absolutely gaga, like kind of stuff.
Sounds like a fun way to surprise the kids.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it really does. And she was just so great playing along with them, and she's just such a smart, sweet kid, just really open and just fun to very comfortable to watch and stuff. I checked out some of her music on iTunes, and I don't think I would ever buy any of it. But she apparently does have talent because she writes her own stuff and things.
Yeah, post something in the group on Twitter, so I've got the spelling of the name. I'll check her later and try to listen to a couple of things. See
Rodrigo?
what I can find.
Is it Rodrigo?
Yeah, Rodrigo.
Okay, I found. Yeah, I looked her up on Google here. All right.
Okay, there's got to be some YouTube videos with her then.
I guess I don't remember what they said, but apparently she was first got to know by the popular group from some kids TV show, like a High School Musical. That's it. She was
okay.
One of the kids in that, which I've also never seen and probably never intend to.
Yeah, no, they made like 4 or 5 of those, and I never saw any of them.
Oh, she's from the series.
Cool. Oh, there's a series too?
Yeah, Disney Channel made it into a series.
Just pulled up the Wikipedia on her. Deja Vu, Good for You.
Yeah, well, she was a Disney teenager, so I'm sure they stuck her in all sorts of stuff.
Disney Plus documentaries. Yeah, she's in a bunch of Disney shit. No, apparently she met Biden at one point.
Oh yeah. She talks about that on Kimmel. Apparently, when you're a little celebrity and you go to the White House, they give you a bag of swag, a White House swag. And one of the things they give her, and this is real, classic generational funniness. She got this thing that she thought was a shoehorn, because she'd never had a shoehorn before, but she looked at it and kind of figured, well, that's what this must be. And it turns out it was a White House presidential ice scooper. That was really cute. Yeah, she's one of those kids I'd like to have as a granddaughter. She's just enjoyable.
Rodrigo performed "Fuck You" with British singer Lily Allen. I like that song.
Oh yes, she performed it with her.
Yeah, I'm reading here on Wikipedia here.
Oh, I'm gonna have to see if I can track that down somewhere.
Yeah,
I have
Search
the
YouTube for it. Somebody's
original.
probably got a pirated copy of it.
I have the original, but that would be nice to hear her do it. Well, it's such a great song. You know, if you ever listen to the lyrics, it's really very, very good song.
yeah, it is.
It's basically saying if you don't like LGBT, fuck your ass.
Yeah, basically.
Hey, Megan, I haven't seen you around for a long time.
Howdy. Mm. God, I didn't realize how much I missed pot.
Yeah, well, it's tended to not have much effect on me before, but, you know, like I said, I was specifically hoping it might be something to help me sleep. But I did it the way everybody says to, that, I just took half of one, but about 2 hours later, I still wasn't feeling any effects, so I took the other half, but that still didn't seem to do anything. Although in general, it seems that my body has very effective filters, because even from my prescription medicines, they usually have to keep upping the dosage to get me to the blood levels that they expect.
Yeah, I seem to do pretty good with filtering stuff myself.
Back in the day when we were all starting to just starting then to smoke pot, one thing that we observed was that there were a fair number of people who did not get high the first time, but did the next time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I suggested that you take the same dose for a couple of days in a row.
Okay, a couple
Because
days
your
in a row.
body, yeah,
I'll
your
try
body
it.
might just. We all have THC receptors in our bodies. Okay, that's just nobody knows why, but they're there. And if if yours aren't quite as sensitive or something like that, maybe you need to get a blood level going before it's actually effective.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about them, so I was going by what the shopkeep told me.
Could also be the strain too.
Yeah, well, the ones I got for sleep are sativa. I got a different strain for Sloth Girl for pain. I forget what those ones were.
Night night gummies. Oh, I like that word. Night night gummies.
If they just make it legal here, but Florida has to be accessible.
Okay, yeah, so I should probably also try taking them on an empty stomach.
And that would probably help too.
The problem is I am in the habit of, eating not too long before bed. That actually seems to slow my system down. If I try to go to sleep on an empty stomach, it seems to keep me up even longer.
Mage, I just wanted to check what you thought. I'm forgetting whether it was Florida or Texas, the two dictatorships. But a federal court overturned their drag queen ban and that sort of thing. Unconstitutional, flat out.
Good.
You haven't heard anything official, or what's the buzz around the state about it?
I haven't really heard much of anything on it. Actually, I'm not really sure I've really heard anything about the ban, and then general buzz is as it is.
Mm-hmm.
I know about it, but that was just from
I just wanted to be aware of what the haters say. The people who pretend that they are okay with LGBT, but then actually hate the hell out of them.
I'm not sure your regular normie around here was even aware.
Well, I did a quick Google search on it. and it appears that there's more than one. That apparently both in Texas and in Tennessee, federal judges have ruled the drag queen bans to be unconstitutional restrictions of freedom of speech.
I would figure that. I mean, didn't the Supreme Court adjudicate back in the 70s that things like dress codes for high schools and stuff could not be enforced as much as they were, or they couldn't do that to students' hair because kids were in long hair and stuff then. And
well, I know there have been several cases that came up, because of black students wearing, hairstyles that are traditional for their community.
Oh, dreadlocks.
Yeah, that's a couple of different things, but yeah, that basically they were accusing that of being, enforcing racism if they were picking on specific hairstyles.
Well, didn't they have a case? And again, I don't remember which state it was in. But there's a kid was a wrestler, and they wouldn't let him wrestle because of his hair. And so they said, if you want to wrestle today, you have to cut off your hair. And so him and the coach went back in the locker room and cut off his hair. And it was, this beautiful set of dreads that take years to create.
Yeah.
And this fucking, and it was just some, part-time coach who's wielding this much power, and he got it completely wrong. I mean, you can't do that. It's just not valid.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, a cashier at one of the stores had the dreadlocks that were, like halfway down her back, and I had to comment on that. That must have taken an awful lot of work, because I had helped my late fiance with twisting and waxing her dreads.
I think my hair finally started to grow again. I've had several people over the last few weeks comment on how long my hair is getting, which is just shocking considering I waited for it to grow for 20 years.
Yeah. Well, my hair hadn't grown since the 90s. But since I've been on...
Nerdy. I'm sorry, Perp.
Yeah, since I've been on the HRT, it seems that my hair is getting a bit longer again, so I've been real happy about that.
I've been trying some new stuff with my hair lately. Switching shampoos and stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, I also got some shampoo and conditioner that Kitty had recommended for me.
Oh, the what was it? Formulate?
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember the name offhand.
Yeah. I need to find something a little bit cheap so for regular use, but I do want to get more expensive stuff like that.
Yeah, well,
at least for the conditioner.
Yeah. Well, for me, they sent a quart of each, and it was supposed to be on a subscription thing that they would automatically send you more like every 3 months. But I canceled the subscription, and it's like, I've been using this stuff for about a year already, and I haven't gone anywhere near, using up the first quart. So, while it may seem kind of pricey, it's been like, $60 for a full year.
Do you brush your hair?
Yeah. I usually brush it and put it in a ponytail most days.
Look into getting a wide tooth comb.
Yeah, I have that.
Somebody told me try that, and it made a huge difference.
Yep.
I lose much less hair to the comb.
Yeah, well, I do have a brush with the widely spaced plastic bristles that I find I generally need that for brushing it out. But I also have a wide tooth comb that I keep in the shower, because when I put the conditioner in, then I use the wide tooth comb through it while I've got the conditioner in my hair to make sure the conditioner gets to all of it.
Well, try it for a while. See. I have found that if I can comb my hair like twice a day or 3 times a day, And even sleeping on my hair overnight, next morning it's not all tangled to shit. It's it's a little tangled because it's gonna get that way, but much less than you did with a brush.
Yep. Yeah, I found this too. That you can't brush it when it's wet.
Oh, captive, that's funny. Angie, weren't you a hairdresser? See what Angie says?
Yeah. Well, I've also got a problem now that Sammy loves the brush. I've got a boar's hair brush that it actually was my late fiance's. So like it's too tightly packed for my hair, but Sammy loves it. And now it's gotten to the point that he gets upset if he sees me brushing my hair and I don't have time to brush him before I go.
Angie's a pro. I would listen to what she says.
Yep. Yeah, I wish Angie was closer. I could use somebody like that to give me a makeover and, just help me learn how to do a new look.
Yeah, see, if she's in Arkansas, you both get arrested and thrown in jail.
I think she's in Texas,
Oh, same thing.
but yeah. Yeah,
Same
Nerdy,
th-
I figured you'd
it's
just
a-
lick yourself clean.
It's the same thing, except in Texas, they take your firstborn male child, too. Fucking Nazis.
I usually don't
Yeah.
brush my hair.
Apparently, Texas was setting up checkpoints on the highways to make sure pregnant women weren't leaving the state.
Oh, jeez.
I heard that. They have a law against pregnant women going out of the state for abortions.
Yeah,
That's also unconstitutional.
but I mean,
Yup.
even if they stop a pregnant woman, how do they know that that's what she's going for, unless they, catch her coming back again?
Well, that would pretty much be the crux of the biscuit.
Yeah, basically, it seems all it managed to do was piss off everybody in the state because of how much it slowed down traffic.
Really?
Yep. Everybody was complaining about it because it was slowing down the traffic on the highway, which had already been abysmal to start with.
Well, what if a woman's a 1 month or 2 months or 3 months pregnant and isn't showing at all? It
Yeah, most people get abortions when they wouldn't be showing.
I'm
And
sorry, ma'am, but I'll have to have you get out of the vehicle and pee on this stick. That'd be about all they could do was like pregnancy texts to every woman that came through.
Yeah, that'd be about it. I doubt they're doing that, though.
Well, Texas is and Arkansas are both one of those states that the attorney generals have demanded from all the hospitals any women's and trans persons medical records, so they can keep track of them and everything. Republicans are that way.
Angie said no, they tried but failed. So it didn't actually happen. I guess the report I was seeing the other night was just somebody speculating.
Somebody did a video, a scripted video, portraying that sort of situation on the side of the road. But you can tell it's just a skit. But even to think that we have politicians who think that they can do that sort of thing to women, these fucking old white men who are going to, make regulations for young women when they don't even freaking know where a damn clitoris is located. These guys are just shut the fuck up, you old bastard. You have no business telling a woman what she should and shouldn't do with her body.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark, I was thinking of that too, that it would be something that they would catch the transgender women.
And I can't believe Angie, or is, and I forget, is Angie in Arkansas or? Well,
No,
fuck that. That doesn't matter. That the governor is Sarah Huckabee. My God, what a case! She just signed an executive order to ban a whole bunch of woke words and stuff. It's like,
okay, and yeah, banning words. Now that can't possibly be imposing on free speech, can it?
Nah, not at all.
okay, I will try never to make that mistake again, Angie, because I sure wouldn't want to be from Arkansas either, or Kansas. Excuse me.
Figured I'd start working on some backgrounds for next month, and this thing just generated a purple turkey with a duck's face.
Purple turkey with a duck's face.
Yeah.
Well, if Minecraft has those things that you can't tell if they're chickens or ducks, I suppose we can have a duck.
God,
Okay.
yesterday evening I stepped on something, and I couldn't find it in the carpeting and stuff. I stepped on something sharp and poked a hole in the bottom of my big toe,
Oh,
and it just won't fucking stop bleeding.
try
Okay,
putting some super glue on it.
yeah.
I don't have any super glue.
Oh, yeah, I actually learned about that in the ER when I hit my thumb with the table saw. That the doctor just coated it with super glue because he said there wasn't enough skin left to stitch it.
Oh, I thought you're supposed to swallow it.
No. Then you get your tongue stuck to the roof of your mouth.
Well, that's no different than peanut butter then.
Yeah.
Although I think peanut butter will probably taste better than cyanoacrylics.
Well, the doctor also commented that the super glue was a good antibiotic because there was no way that anything could survive the solvents in it while it was setting.
It's also cyanide based. It's an isocyanate.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, that was one of the Dow or DuPont, whichever it was, chemical company in India at Bhopal that had that industrial accident, and thousands of people died because they got caught in the isocyanate cloud.
I remember the thing about the cyanide cloud. I didn't understand what they were using it for.
Well, now you know. So if you ever, there's a technique that people use to create little hard things, like plastic kind of things, like you have to replace, say, a fret on a guitar, or the bridge, that keeps the string suspended. That they will make a replacement or repair an existing using. God, what do they grind up in there?
I don't know about grinding up. I thought you were meaning about resin molding.
No, they grind up. Is a plastic or some kind of wood, and they mix it with a isocyanate, and it turns into this workable paste that you can shape and how you need, and it will replace hard rigid plastic under fairly high stress applications. But don't ever breathe it if you heat it up. Unless that's what you're shooting for,
Well, I did notice that the hobby of model building has never been nearly as big as it was in the 70s and 80s, ever since Tester changed the formula of their glue. I mean, it used to be that kids would sit all day in unventilated basements building these plastic models.
Mm-hmm. Come out with your eyes dripping and stuff like that.
I did that to myself once accidentally when I was a teenager. I was working with with the model airplane dope that they put on over the tissue paper to shrink it to the frame.
I was at a friend's house. His mom was also a nurse, like my mom, and we were building a model in his bedroom. And he was allowed to paint as long as he put out papers and stuff. He was allowed to paint the stuff in his room. And so he did. And so we're in this fairly small, typical bedroom and spraying all this, the VOCs out there. And we both got so fucking high. And I started getting a headache and feeling nauseous and, wanting to pass out and things. And this nurse, I mean, this is back in the mid 60s. Just did not believe me that I was feeling sick like that. Just, oh, how can that possibly be? They just didn't understand.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that episode I had, it's like I'd been working down there for like 7 hours, and I didn't think anything of it until I tried walking up the stairs, and then it's like I was too dizzy to get up the stairs. I wound up crawling up the stairs. Was kind of fun, but yeah, probably enough to do a little bit of brain damage at that point.
Well, that explains a lot.
Oh, that's why I'm autistic, you mean?
I don't know what it could cause, but it certainly did something. Don't you think?
No. My brain's just wired differently. It makes me more creative.
Yeah, your brain's all sorts of weird, apparently.
I like weird. I don't trust anyone who claims to be normal.
Yeah, normal is boring.
I don't trust anybody who uses the word normal. I'll be right back.
Fortunately, most queer people are also weird, so that makes up most of the people that I interact with. Straight people are actually kind of rare in my circle of friends.
Apparently.
Oh, now what's going on? I've got the noises of heavy trucks backing up outside my window. Wonder what they're doing now since they just resurfaced that street. Yep, the question is just, how well does my weird fit with your weird?
I'm sorry, some liquid went down the wrong pipe.
Ah, you okay?
No, I'll probably be gagging for a while here.
That's always fun.
That's what she said.
Oh, gagging. I get it. I'm sometimes really slow, I guess.
Well, you don't have to worry about that here, Jeff. We've got Mage sitting in to give us the straight perspective here, so.
Yep.
Of course, there was a meme going around Twitter. It was like this Victorian picture with these two women. And one of them was saying, "But Gloria, you know I'm straight." And the other one was saying, "So is spaghetti until it gets wet." So I thought it was a good joke, but yeah, I know it doesn't apply to everyone.
I think it's a good joke too. I just heard it a couple weeks ago. I'm sorry. Godless, aren't you going to come in?
He said he's at a pub watching a sports ball game.
Oh, fuck your sports ball. Get in here. Um, I'm starting to talk with one guy. We'll probably expand it later. We're trying to put it together a regular live stream on TikTok. And there's a lot of people on TikTok doing streams in support of LGBTQ, and they get all these hostile, nasty people that just say anything they possibly can that's hurtful and mean and nasty and untrue, bold-faced lies. And that's all these people's streams end up being, is just all these sick people coming in. There's never any kind of education or anything like that. And so I'm taking a different tack on the whole thing. And the basic is that we're not the problem. You're the problem. And that's what we're going to be talking about, is how you bastards out there are the problem. That you are not normal, because look at how you're acting. You're not normal. And we're going to see where that goes.
It sounds like a good tack to take on it. I know that TikTok's kind of notorious for having a lot of MAGA type people.
Mark, I'm pretty darn good with my bowels.
Another joke about plugging your depths.
Well, I had an accident and I flushed my plug, so we got to get another one.
Remember, anything's a butt plug if you're brave enough. Your corner gas station probably sells bananas and maybe cucumbers if you're lucky.
No, never seen anything like that. But they do have baby Ruths. I could always try one of those.
Well, you always go pineapple top first.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I think the pineapple would be a bit large.
That. No, I'm not going to say that joke. It's just too horrible, but funny as fuck. the raccoon and anal size joke.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, Dick Dawson keeps, making jokes about the idiots and inserting a roadkill raccoon. And I keep telling him that you should use a porcupine, because they go in very easily. Removing them is a different matter. They don't pull out the same way. And actually, for people who get into paleontology, an ankylosaurus is often referred to as an angry pineapple.
Oh, that's one with the spikes on little squares on its back and stuff, right?
Yep. Yeah, because he's got the little square armor plates on his back and the spikes down his sides.
And the fact that those are square, that they have 90-degree edges, proves that there's a creator who planned all of this.
Well, the creator could have made us better at math by giving us 12 digits instead of 10.
Well, that's because God wasn't metric.
Yeah, base 12 is easier to work with because it's divisible evenly by more things.
Yeah, as long as you don't care if it's a girl or boy, as long as it says there's 5 toes on each foot and 6 fingers on each hand.
That's right.
Yep.
I've never known any polydactyl humans.
Oh,
I
here's
haven't known any personally, but it does happen occasionally.
I have heard of some people who are actually quite good at playing the piano because of the extra finger.
Oh, really? Oh, God, I hadn't thought of that. That would be neat. I've seen pictures. It's really you don't notice it at first glance, but then you suddenly realize what you're looking at and go, what? um, not
Yeah.
laughing at them, but you just don't see it very often.
Well, I'm now dactyly inhibited, so it slowed down my typing a lot because I only have one full-length finger on my right hand.
Oh, posh. Practice more, you'll get better at it.
Yeah, no, it's just slower because, all the keys on the right side of the keyboard I have to do with one hand or with one finger.
Yeah, my left hand I usually can only use my thumb, middle, and index finger for typing.
I type 87 words a minute. I don't need any of this nonsense.
Lucky you. I'm lucky if I can get 30.
I type with like 3 fingers. Just kidding.
Then, of course, the arthritis in my right hand and fucked up the middle joint in my index finger. So that's always nice.
Even when I had all my fingers, I think my typing speed had topped out at like 45 words a minute. So now it's probably down to like 20.
I never timed my words for a minute because I knew I would be embarrassed.
Yeah, I think the best I ever did was around 40.
I had mine timed, back when I was in my 20s because a lot of the jobs I was interviewing for, they asked about that.
Yeah. I tried to get into an online database entry thing for a job, and it wouldn't accept me because I couldn't type fast enough. That sucked.
Okay, Mark got me on that one. Actually, my problem was I let the radial arm saw nibble on him.
Oh, I was such a nail biter when I was a kid.
I never bit my nails. The bad habit I had to work on was picking at my scabs.
How'd they taste?
Yeah.
Don't answer
dry.
that. Oh, they were kind of like prime rib, actually. PBS has this show on Nature right now that it's about a platypus. One particular platypus that lives in this creek that runs through the middle of a city. And since Australia's not the United States, the stream is actually clean enough to support the little guy, and he thrives. And so they've been following him around. He's a cutie.
Yeah, we probably could get more action from companies that are, poisoning the streams of endangered wildlife than we could with them poisoning the war supplies as humans. Although Trump certainly did a lot to gut those kind of legislations.
Oh, by the way, all you people out there in the chat, have you completed your assignments I gave you to acquire and read Plan 2025?
I'm glad you're only addressing the chat on that.
Well, you two better get your ass in gear and read it too.
Well, isn't it like close to 900 pages?
Yeah. So
Yeah, at my reading speed, it'll take me months to read through something that size.
It'll be 2026 by the time I finish that.
It's
Yeah.
not a contest, kids. Skim
You
it.
know,
Go to each chapter and read the first 3 paragraphs. Get an idea what's going on.
I have been watching a lot of people who are, doing synopsis of it.
Yeah, I've heard some synopsis on it. So
Yeah, Cirrus did a good breakdown of it. Yeah, Mark, the 2025 plan is what the far-right Republicans have put together as the plan for what they're going to do the next time they control the government. And it is scary as fuck.
It's the instruction set for turning America from a democracy into a dictatorship.
Yep.
Plain and simple. That's exactly what it does, including down to the very Nazi technique of getting rid of those people you don't like, starting with the LGBT people and ending up with the race that you hate.
Yep. Well, and of course, the other religions you don't like as well.
Oh, yeah. And disabled people.
Because they want to make it a fascist theocracy.
People keep saying, oh, that could never happen here. Honey, this is where it was invented. Go back and read about the American eugenics programs of the turn of the century, 18th or 20th century.
yeah, pretty much.
I mean, Hitler is quoted by saying, we believe strongly in these American systems and concepts that we've gotten from America, and that's what we're going to employ. And they did. So,
but you mentioned about them going after disabled people. Have you seen that clip of Greg Locke going off on that? Yeah, anybody who has a disability, it's only because they don't have enough faith in the Lord.
Leviticus does talk about basically banning the disabled from the church. That you're not welcome here.
Yep.
Blind, disabled, whatever.
And I specifically remember as that being the passage that put me off the Bible for the rest of my life. Because I was questioning that aren't these people who need God's help the most, and he's banning them from his house?
No, that's because he knows he's a phony.
Yep, and I found that so disturbing. I even had a private consultation with the pastor of our church, and I asked him about it, and I didn't get any answers. And I found that really disturbing, as the person who was supposed to understand the Bible the best didn't have any answers for that.
He probably had answers. He just knew that he couldn't tell them, because if they were truthful, you would react the way you did.
Well, about all he really told me was that I shouldn't focus too much on the Old Testament, and I should just skip to the New Testament.
Oh,
So, yeah.
I see.
Yeah, that's when I was 15, and that was the last time I went to church, apart from going in once for my sister's wedding.
I went into church for my mom's funeral.
Yeah, when was I think it was a funeral when I was last in a church as well.
Yeah. Any of the funerals that I haven't been able to avoid going to have been in funeral homes and not churches, so. I hate funerals, and I made it clear to my family after my grandpa died 30 years ago that I just don't do funerals. And I have no intention of showing up for my own.
Mark, yes, you are involved with this. One of the people who is funding Plan 2025 and a few other things that the Heritage Foundation is doing. One of them is that Australian guy who Trump gave all the nuclear secrets to. And then some other guys who are part owners of the Supreme Court. So
yeah,
it's coming here, but it's going to head to your place too. So pay attention.
Yeah, unfortunately true that They're basically trying to get it going here, but they're clearly exporting it to every English-speaking country. They're kind of working in cooperation with one of the parties in the UK, and they're definitely having some influence on it in Australia already.
Yeah, it's clear it's a worldwide movement, and Germany, Italy, France have all had their right-wing extremists start to get busy since Trump went in, because that's how it was all planned. They're trying to turn Europe fascist again.
Yeah, I wish I could move back to Finland. You'd think for my heritage they'd let me go back there.
I'd like to go to Iceland, because in Iceland you can see them coming at you from any direction.
There is that. Strategically, it's a very good location. Yeah, Megan, I'm glad you found a supportive church, and actually the trans support group that I've been going to here actually meets at a church also, because it turns out that church actually has an openly gay pastor.
Oh, well, he's going to hell.
So I mean, it's really good that at least there are a few churches that queer people can feel comfortable at.
We have a Lutheran church here in La Crosse, not here in Houston. In La Crosse, that the pastor is a trans woman. So I figure that's probably a fairly safe place to be if you're going to do church thing.
Yeah, when I was a teenager, I had joined a Methodist church because for the time they were very progressive. They even had a woman in training to be a pastor. It was pretty much unheard of for a woman to be doing that in the 70s.
I was talking some socio-political stuff with this kid. I think they're maybe 30, or a little less. So we were talking about socio-political things revolving around human sexuality and feminism in America. And she had no clue at all that there was any kind of women's movement in the 70s and 60s. Was completely oblivious to it. Was shocked to hear that it really was there. How can these kids be so stupid?
Yeah, I've run into that too because there's now so much anti-feminist stuff, and it's like, yeah, you don't understand where this started from. That I've always been very much a supporter of the feminist movement, but yeah, for me that's from the 70s when basically they were just arguing about being treated equally in the workplace.
It was more than just the workplace. It was in all of society. The classic example everybody likes to whip out because it's so shocking is women not being able to get a loan from a bank because the husband's got his co-sign for it.
Oh yeah, that actually they weren't even allowed to have bank accounts in their own name. That they need to have a man sign for that.
Yeah, well, those kinds of issues were just as big as the employment issue.
Yeah.
The other way big issue was the polluting the air that all those burning bras caused. Rubber synthetics.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
No. I thought it was pretty good. I don't think anybody else got it.
Or they didn't think it was very good. I know I'm a failure.
I'm not sure how many people under 30 will even get the reference to bra burning.
No, especially they didn't know that feminism in the 60s and 70s even existed.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh. Yeah, I'd have to go and get one for the occasion. I'm still not big enough to need it. I have been relieved about just the general reception I've gotten out in public, though. I really haven't gotten any hassle for it.
That's good.
Yeah, I've, gotten sour looks from a couple of guys, but they haven't said anything openly.
I just think it's the Minnesota nice overwhelms their hate.
Yep. Yeah, I think the Minnesota nice at least keeps the bigots quieter. Because I do live in a pretty red district. Although even that, I think that there's a lot of people around here who voted for Trump the first time around who now are saying, no, we're not making that mistake again.
I had one person on Facebook contact me saying who voted for Trump and saying, "Yeah, that was a mistake."
Yup.
I haven't had anybody say it openly, but I've just noted that, the type of conversations I'm overhearing, they're not mentioning Trump anymore. Whereas when I first moved here in 2020, they were very big on saying of how much better he was going to make things.
Yeah, I've got the family down the street from me with the Heritage Not Hate Confederate flag on their big ass vehicle and a Let's Go Brandon bumper sticker on and a cooler.
Yeah, there's still a guy here that has those giant flags flying off of his vehicle. That one of them's a Confederate flag and the other one just says "fuck Biden," and all sorts of Trump stickers all over the place. He usually parks outside the Burger King all day, so it's like, don't you have anything better to do?
Yeah, don't you just hate it when someone makes one thing the entire identity?
Only if it's the wrong thing.
That was a joke, by the way.
Yep.
I love that troll that goes around, that political troll goes around to megas events and trolls the damn maggots. It's just they're so stupid. They just can't tell. They're so stupid. They can't read a room. The classic one I've been seeing lately that I really enjoy is a guy Walter something Masterson, I think his name is. Talks to these maggots that have their pickup trucks and well decorated and their hats and their t-shirts and their flag they're carrying and they get the conversation steered to those gay people shoving it down your throat and gets Tom. Oh yeah, they shouldn't be allowed to carry those flags and show them around town in all those t-shirts and stuff like that. And then these guys are just yeah. Well, he's holding a flag in his hat and his shirt.
Yeah, that's basically the idea there.
Yeah, I could never see making one thing my whole identity. It's coincidence that even the cashiers at the thrift store refer to me as the Purple Woman.
There you go.
I never want. Go ahead.
There you go. Just shoving your purpleness down everyone's throat.
I never wanted my life, especially my so-called golden years here, when I'm supposed to be enjoying life. I never intended to be what I used to call a professional trans person whose whole life revolves around being trans. I mean, I didn't have to. I was stealth. Had a fine life going, but now coming out into the politics and stuff, it's just become a full-time job because it's so damn lethal out there for us.
Yeah, you didn't want to be an activist, but you're kind of shoved into a corner if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, nobody told you your golden years were actually iron pyrite.
I like pyrite. I think pyrite is really pretty. When I was doing lapidary work, I always wanted to get a piece of it and then try and polish it, see what it looked like.
I want to get some purple amethyst for jewelry.
That is a nice purple.
Actually, my new birthstone winds up being alexandrite, which usually comes in purple.
You know, I could come up there and give you some purple nurples.
No thanks.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm too easy a target for those.
Oh, I saw these fucking cool earrings. I absolutely have to find. It was just a picture of them, and there was just no indication of who sold them, who made them, or anything like that. They are just this beautiful biologically correct sculpture. I'll say sculpture because it's really that advanced of a daddy long legs. And it's about the perfect size to be an earring, that hanging down type earring, because one of the legs is the hook, and then the other legs are out there. But it looks exactly like a freaking daddy long legs, and I want one so bad. I looked at Etsy for the spiders earrings, and there's lots of them, but none of them are like biologically exact.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
Well, if you have a picture of it.
Yeah, you could try doing an image search on Google and see if it comes up with a site for them.
I don't remember if I saved a picture of it. I'll check on that. Maybe that would work. And then the other popular thing in earrings, bug earrings, I like is people doing cicadas as earrings, or cicada wings as earrings. I hope nobody feels like a horrible sin is committed if you use a cicada for a jewelry, but there's an awful lot of them every year. They just kind of crawl out of the ground. They're everywhere.
Well, they pop up and they have a very short life anyway. They don't stay around long.
No, they're there for about a day or two.
Yeah, basically they pop up, they try to find somebody to fuck, and that's it.
That's about the entirety of their lifespan right there.
Yep.
May actually, a group of us were talking about that the other night. Is there was one person who wasn't really a part of the group, but who was harassing the group, who has said non-binary people are just absolutely not trans. They don't belong with that title, and that kind of bullshit. But that's part of the conversation got branched off into that is if somebody's not, how do they put that? Not intentionally trying to display themselves is the word that they used, meaning you're NB and people can tell that you're NB, however that happens. And that's because they can go in and out like that. It's and because it's fluid, it doesn't count. It's like, duh. Damn haters.
Well, I had that shit in the 80s when they were arguing about including bisexuals under the gay lesbian flag. And they didn't want to include bisexuals because they were saying, well, you could be in a hetero relationship and be stealth.
Well, people got all bent out of shape in the 60s and 70s when the name straight started showing up. I'm not straight. I'm just normal. No,
Yeah.
there's
like
no
they are
such thing
now
as
about
normal.
cis.
Hmm.
It's a lot of the same arguments that were used against homosexuals are being used against trans people.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same script recycled. They just replaced one or two words.
Ah, darn it, unavailable in your region. I found some good realistic spider earrings.
Oh yeah, put them up on
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, I can get why they appeal to some people. I would not do any insects for jewelry myself. The only possible exception I might make is for a dragonfly, because the dragonflies do have some special significance to me.
I'd like what some hanging down earrings, some danglies made out of those centipedes, and you find in your house with a billion legs and they run really fast and all that kind of stuff. I think those would be neat to have.
You mean the centipede who their needs are higher than their backs?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
That their legs are like a big M.
I'll have to agree with you because I never really tried to look at their anatomy that closely. But I know I don't hurt them when I see them because they're a major bug eater in the house.
Yep. Yeah, like spiders, you wouldn't have the centipedes around if there weren't other bugs for them to eat. Wow, that is a realistic one.
We'll get a bit closer look at it with these.
I could see that could freak some people out if they saw that.
Well, that's it. Except the one I saw was one of the legs was the hook, not the body.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't that fucking cool? God, can you imagine showing that to Amber? She would just freak the fuck out.
Yeah. I had the idea of gauging my ears just to the point that I could fit a single Lego stud through them.
Did that say where it was available?
That was an Etsy thing, but it doesn't seem. Oops.
You said something about not available in your region, so
Yeah.
have to have it delivered to somebody in another country and sent to you.
It gives a little bit closer look at it.
Yeah, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
It's a different one, but
Yeah,
There's-
different
there it is.
species.
there it is.
But it doesn't actually. Somebody who's selling them doesn't. Maybe they just won't send them to Florida because it's Florida and nobody likes Florida anymore.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I definitely have to get some of those. Those will just bother so many people. I love them.
It would freak me out if I saw that climbing on the side of somebody's head and didn't know.
Yep. That's the plan, Stan.
Yeah, I'd be like, how does that person not realize? How do they not feel that thing there?
You got a yes. Hold still.
Oh, good. I'm glad that you're having a chance for your surgery again.
What's PPV?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what the abbreviation there was either. Yeah, I finally got the referral letters through, so I got a packet of information from the university hospital that I have to fill out and send back to them, which will basically get me on the list to be on the waiting list to get a consultation for a surgeon.
Ooh, it's starting to happen.
Yeah, maybe a year or so from now at best.
That's fine. It just gives
Yep.
you better chance to be solid with yourself.
Well, right now, I've got to be working on all the paperwork of getting my name changed through all the various government agencies and banks and credit cards and everything, because I finally got the official notarized document from the court for my name change.
Yeah, you mentioned that. It shouldn't be difficult at all. You get certified copies of your court proceedings, and you
Yeah.
just mail them with a little cover letter to each place, and it's done. They can't refuse it nowadays.
Most of it's pretty easy. The one I'm still not sure about is I have to deal with the state of Illinois to get my birth certificate updated. And I'm still not sure if that can be done through the mail or if I'll actually have to make a court appearance there.
Okay. I don't know, but you don't need the birth certificate to make all the other changes.
No, I found that out, that I can get my driver's license changed without that. That Minnesota, basically, you can claim whatever gender you want, and they don't ask about it. And Minnesota also has the option for claiming non-gender on your birth certificate or on your driver's license, that you can claim male, female, or X.
That's good.
I don't do X.
Well, I got X on it when I got my Michigan license changed to Minnesota, because at the time I was still in the process of things.
Now wait a minute. You got your Michigan to Minnesota license changed?
I had to, because
No. How did you do that? You need
basically had to
you
go in and take the written test from Minnesota.
didn't you have to produce your birth certificate?
No, that's what surprised me. Well, actually, I had a copy of my original birth certificate. It's just I need to
Oh, okay. So you didn't get the license in your change name. Okay,
No.
I get it. That's why
No,
it was
not yet.
easy.
Yeah.
Because they told me I had to have my birth certificate, and since I haven't got a birth certificate that's been changed correctly, I can't get a license. And if I can't get a license, I can't vote.
You should be able to register to vote without a license.
No, you cannot. You have it's the real ID laws are in effect in all the states that James Sensenbrenner from Wisconsin introduced and passed around the Patriot Act time. That they phased in over years to make everybody have to do it, and you can't even get a freaking plane ticket without a proper real ID.
Yeah, I don't
And
know
my,
about the plane ticket. I haven't tried to fly since the early 2000s.
and my friend back in home in Milwaukee, who's a lawyer, who said they take care of my birth certificate stuff down there because I can't get down there. Has been sitting on it for over 6 months. It's like, come on,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Well, like I say, the birth certificate's the only one that I think will be difficult. The other ones are just a matter of the time to fill out all the paperwork. And trying to get things in the right sequence. Like I've got to get the name changed with Social Security before I get it changed on my medical insurance, because I've got Medicaid. So I can't do the medical records until after I've got Social Security to do it.
Social Security is nothing more than a letter mailed and with the court order, and that's it. You're done. Mm-hmm. If you want to go into their office and sit around, I suppose you could get it done there.
No, I'm trying to do all the stuff by mail and not have to talk to people more than I need to.
Yeah, I get that. I did most of mine by mail too, except for the bank, and I had to go and deal with these pricks at the bank who were just, it was the classic stuff. Everybody's talking loud, and just being indiscreet, and people just fucking misgendering, and just a whole awful treatment intentionally by these people.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and then with the DMV, it's the whole thing with getting my license changed and getting a new title for the van with my new name on it and that kind of stuff. So, like I say, most of it's just a lot of bureaucratic paperwork. I don't expect it to be difficult.
See, now for my car, I didn't want to go through all the hassles of papers and stuff. I just sold myself my car in my new name.
Oh, I didn't think of doing it that way. That probably would be easier.
You have to, in Minnesota, you have to pay tax on that then
Yeah.
when you get your license, but it went perfectly smooth.
Yeah, I wonder how much the tax would be on that.
Well, it would be the same as when you first registered it.
Well, don't they base that on the value of the vehicle?
Yes, but if you have receipts that show what you actually paid, and it's different, I would imagine you can get an adjustment. I don't know for sure, but it would make sense to me.
Well, because if I did it with the van with pictures of it wrecked, I could claim that I bought it at the scrap price and then repair it. So that would definitely lower the tax from it being the tax on a few $1,000s to being the tax on like $100.
Mm-hmm. But I think if it's on the road, they presume that it has a non-scrap value.
Like I said, I could even bring in the pictures of the front end destroyed and say that this is how I bought it.
Why
and
would
how
you?
we're
Okay, why
repairing
would
it.
you be buying a license, a vehicle license for a car that's wrecked? That kind of implies that you're going to drive it if you're
Well,
getting a
no,
license.
that's what I mean. I would just be saying that I bought it in the wrecked state and we were repairing it.
Right, and that they're not going to do your license at a scrap value. They're going to do it as a vehicle that's going to be drivable on the street.
Yeah. And like I
Otherwise,
said, it's not something that hadn't occurred to me to try it that way before. I'll have to check how much the tax would be to do it that way.
that's one of the ways I got away with buying and selling cars without a license back home. Is every car I would buy, I would put in my own name with a fresh license plate. I would never change license plates, and it just looks so perfectly normal. What happens with the car and aging and selling and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I never got hassled. Ouch, ouch. I'm trying to change this bandage. It was absolutely soaked with blood.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
fun.
I've got this thing that the other night or the other day when I woke up, there was a big patch of skin missing off my ankle, and I've got no idea how it happened.
Me too. I think I rubbed my feet together or something, but my feet are soft. There's no callus on my feet.
Yeah. So I'm just my concern is it hasn't happened for quite a number of years, but am I having sleepwalking episodes again and injuring myself in my sleep?
That's not good.
Because I also had an episode last week that I had a dream about like getting hit in the head with a perfume bottle, and when I got up, I had a massive headache and a bump.
Yeah, it does sound like you're sleepwalking.
I would go and ask Sloth Girl if you were sneaking in her bedroom overnight.
Maybe set up a camera you can run on yourself to see if you're getting up.
Yeah, that's a good point. I should set the webcam up. But that's the part of it I'm worried about is if I wander out into the corridor naked.
Well, put an extra lock on the door or something. or oh, even better, put some electrodes on it so that as soon as you grab the knob, it electrocutes you. That'll keep you from doing it, and it'll wake you up.
Oh, yeah, baby. Well, we're just past the 2-hour mark. Should we wind it up here for today?
I don't know. It's kind of up to you in the chat, not me.
Well, I was
You-
taking a vote.
Yeah,
Does
I'm good with
somebody have a
winding
new
up.
topic, or should we just wind it up?
Chat, what say you?
Well, Mage, while we're waiting for a vote from the chat, why don't you tell us what's going on with you? Do you have a garden update?
Not too much of an update. I got the script read out on my, so I got the script read. I just need to edit it up and try and get the actual thing to put together. I just hope I can do that before Halloween comes. It'll be a little cryptid kind of thing. I decided to do a hypothetical little growing of the fern flower.
The fern flower?
Yeah, it's a mythical little plant. Yeah, we got 2 Jennies.
Yep, Jenny's twins now. I heard a ring, so did you get bumped by a phone call?
And neither of them are talking.
Nope, and I'm hesitating to. I guess I'll take the old one down, but she'll probably be back here. Yep. Okay, well, she'll probably log back in again. Well, so far we've got 1 vote for keep it going and 1 vote for wind it up. So yeah, I don't know if Jenny's on a call. No telling how long she'll be back. So I guess we are going to wind it up here. Yeah, I don't have anything special going on, but I will repeat my begging if people can help us out with money for the van repairs.
Yep, we got
If you can't help us out, if you can't help us out with money, appreciate you just sharing it around, get it in front of more people. Because my audience is still tiny. I have finally broken over the 575 subscribers that I kept falling back from. I was up to 577. So at this rate, maybe there is a chance that maybe by this time next year I could actually be approaching 600.
Yep, got the link that was put there, and you'll also have it pinned. Go to the link if you can't donate, share it around.
Yep. So Jenny, you have any final words before we've...
Oh, now I hear sound. Hello,
Yep, now
testing.
we can hear you.
Yes, sounds good.
You didn't? Was I on before when I said I couldn't hear it?
No.
We couldn't hear you, but there were 2 of you on.
That away, StreamYards.
Well, I had heard a phone ring, so I figured you got knocked off by a phone call.
No phone here.
Okay, well, did you have any final words before we shut this down?
Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. Mary did something with the lamb, but I don't know what the hell it was. So we'll just leave it there and save Mary some humiliation. No, I have nothing going.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody for coming. We will see you all again next week. I just want to thank the people who have been helping me out by sending a little bit each month to keep us going here, help pay my internet bill. Skits Crasher, of course. Greg Hartwick, the Lavender Lady, Robert X, Southern Sal, Vonrek. Like I said, I appreciate all the help I can get here.
I remembered.
Oh, what did you remember?
Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. Mary did something with the lamb, but you don't want to know.
Ah, yes. And with that, people, we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Don't get
Later.
caught.